Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into the heart of hustle, the city that never sleeps, New York City. Buckle up as we explore the 11 richest neighborhoods in all of New York. From jaw-dropping penthouses to historic brownstones, these neighborhoods are where the elite call home. Let's go. First up, we're heading downtown to Tribeca, a neighborhood that's gone from industrial grit to A-list chic. Back in the day, this was a hub for textile factories and warehouses. But those days are long gone, my friends. Now those massive spaces have been transformed into sprawling loft apartments with exposed brick soaring ceilings and enough square footage to park a private jet. And speaking of high flyers, Tribeca is a magnet for celebrities. We're talking A-listers like Robert De Niro, Taylor Swift, Beyoncé and Jay-Z. These guys know a good investment when they see one. They're drawn to the neighborhood's cool, understated vibe, the world-class dining scene, and the fact that they can walk down the street without being mobbed by paparazzi. But let's be real. The real star of Tribeca is the real estate itself. Think cast-iron facades, cobblestone streets, and those iconic fire escapes that scream New York City. Next up, we're hopping on the subway and heading to Forest Hills Gardens, Queens. Now, I know what you're thinking. Queens? Really? Trust me on this one, people. This ain't your average Queens neighborhood. Forest Hills Gardens is like stepping into a storybook village right in the middle of the city. Picture this. Winding, tree-lined streets, charming Tudor-style homes, and perfectly manicured gardens everywhere you look. It's like something out of a fairy tale, and that's exactly what its founders envisioned back in the early 1900s. They wanted to create a peaceful, self-contained community away from the hustle and bustle of Manhattan. And boy, did they succeed. This place is exclusive, my friends. We're talking private security, gated entrances, and a level of privacy that's practically unheard of in this city. Alright guys, we're back in Manhattan, and this time we're heading to the most iconic park in the world, Central Park. But we're not just strolling through the park today, we're talking about the real estate that lines its southern border, Central Park South. This is prime real estate, my friends. We're talking about some of the most coveted addresses in the world, with views that will make your heart skip a beat. Imagine waking up every morning, looking out your window and seeing nothing but the sprawling green expanse of Central Park. That's the reality for the lucky few who call this place home. And the buildings themselves are nothing short of spectacular. We're talking about pre-war masterpieces with grand lobbies, soaring ceilings, and the kind of architectural details that'll make you feel like you're living in a palace. And then there are the modern marvels, sleek glass towers that seem to touch the sky, with floor-to-ceiling windows that offer panoramic views of the city. Alright guys, we're hopping on the ferry and heading to Staten Island. Now I know what you're thinking, Staten Island for a luxury neighborhood? Trust me on this one. Staten Island is full of hidden gems and Tote Hill is the crown jewel. This is where Staten Island's elite come to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. We're talking about a secluded enclave of winding roads, lush greenery, and some of the most impressive estates in the entire city. Think sprawling mansions, manicured lawns that stretch as far as the eye can see, and the kind of privacy that most New Yorkers can only dream of. Tote Hill is all about peace and quiet. It's a place where you can actually hear the birds chirping, the leaves rustling in the breeze, and maybe even the faint sound of the ferry horn in the distance. It's a world away from the honking horns and sirens of Manhattan, and that's exactly what draws people here. Alright guys, we're heading back across the river to Brooklyn, but we're not talking about your hipster coffee shops and vintage clothing stores this time. We're talking about the Brooklyn waterfront, a neighborhood that's undergoing a serious transformation. This is where industrial grit meets modern luxury. We're talking about former warehouses and factories that have been converted into stunning loft apartments, sleek new condo buildings with floor-to-ceiling windows offering breathtaking views of the Manhattan skyline, and a waterfront park that's quickly becoming one of the most desirable outdoor spaces in the city. The Brooklyn waterfront is all about that cool, industrial, chic vibe. Think exposed brick high ceilings and that raw, edgy energy that you just don't find in Manhattan anymore. But it's not just about the aesthetics, it's also about the lifestyle. People are drawn to the Brooklyn waterfront for its laid-back vibe, its sense of community, and its proximity to Manhattan without the Manhattan price tag. All right, guys, we're heading back to Manhattan, and this time we're talking about a neighborhood that's all about culture, cuisine, and condo living, Lincoln Square. This is where you'll find some of the most prestigious performing arts venues in the world, like Lincoln Center, the Metropolitan Opera, and the New York City Ballet. We're talking about a neighborhood that's steeped in history, with a vibrant arts scene and a level of sophistication that's hard to find anywhere else. But Lincoln Square isn't just for the cultured elite, it's also a great place to live, with a mix of pre-war charm and modern luxury. We're talking about stately brownstones, elegant pre-war apartment buildings, and sleek new condo towers with all the bells and whistles. And let's not forget about the food. Lincoln Square is a foodie's paradise, with everything from Michelin-starred restaurants to cozy cafes to casual eateries serving up cuisine from around the world. We're heading back to Queens, to a neighborhood far from Manhattan's hustle and bustle. Malba, a quiet, affluent enclave with impressive mansions and waterfront views. Here, privacy is paramount, with only the sounds of nature. Escape the city without leaving, enjoying suburban peace near Manhattan. Malba is a place of serious wealth and exclusivity. All right, guys, we're heading back to Manhattan, and this time we're talking about a neighborhood that's changing the face of the city. Hudson Yards. This is the newest neighborhood in Manhattan, built from the ground up on a massive platform over the West Side rail yards. We're talking about a neighborhood that's all about innovation, luxury, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Hudson Yards is home to some of the most impressive architecture in the city, from the iconic vessel to the soaring skyscrapers that house some of the world's most prestigious companies. We're talking about a neighborhood that's designed to impress, with public art installations, high-end shopping, and dining experiences that will blow your mind. But Hudson Yards isn't just about the glitz and glamour, it's also a great place to live, with a mix of luxury apartments and condos offering breathtaking views of the city and the Hudson River. And let's not forget about the location. All right, guys, we're heading up to the Bronx, but we're not talking about your typical Bronx neighborhood. We're talking about Riverdale, a leafy enclave that feels more like a suburb than a borough of New York City. This is where you'll find tree-lined streets, stately homes with sprawling lawns, and a sense of peace and quiet that's hard to come by in the city. We're talking about a neighborhood where you can actually hear the birds chirping and the kids playing in the streets. Riverdale is a popular choice for families looking to escape the hustle and bustle of city life while still being within easy reach of Manhattan. It's also home to a number of prestigious schools, making it a great option for families with young children. But don't let the suburban vibe fool you. Riverdale is still a place of serious wealth. We're talking about homes that are worth millions of dollars, owned by CEOs, celebrities, and anyone else who values space, privacy, and a little bit of peace and quiet. All right, guys, we're heading back to Manhattan for our final stop, and we're saving the best for last. We're talking about Gramercy Park, the most exclusive neighborhood in all of New York City. This tiny, gated park is the ultimate status symbol, with access granted only to residents of the select few buildings that surround it. We're talking about a level of exclusivity that's almost impossible to comprehend, where even celebrities and billionaires have to jump through hoops to get in. But Gramercy Park isn't just about exclusivity. It's also about history, charm, and a level of tranquility that's hard to find anywhere else in the city. We're talking about a place where time seems to stand still, where you can stroll through the park on a sunny afternoon and imagine yourself back in the Gilded Age. The buildings that surround Gramercy Park are some of the most coveted in the city, with a mix of stately townhouses, elegant pre-war apartment buildings, and a few modern additions that blend seamlessly with their surroundings. So there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the world of New York City's most exclusive neighborhoods. From the historic streets of Tribeca to the modern marvels of Hudson Yards, these neighborhoods offer a taste of the high life, with price tags to match. Whether you're dreaming of a sprawling penthouse overlooking Central Park or a charming brownstone tucked away on a quiet street, New York City has something for everyone. But be warned, this level of luxury doesn't come cheap. Thanks for joining us on this tour of New York City's richest neighborhoods. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on luxury living and real estate.